Hello everybody, Jake, your resident content cowboy here. Yeehaw. I just got back from NAIC and Latios are on the public test server, so I'm going to go over both these Pokemon. This video is going to be me diving into the new attacker, Latios, coming to the game. So we've got our basic attack, dealing damage to opposing Pokemon. We have our passive Levitate. I increase move speed when I use a move. Also, if I'm nearby with Latios, my move speed increases. It doesn't say ally Latios, so I'm curious if it has to be an ally. I would guess, but it doesn't say. When Latios is on the same team, I can fly to it. The ability can only be used when this Pokemon is not in combat, and it goes on cooldown after it's triggered. I believe it has a 90-second cooldown, but again, I think it's interesting that it says when Latios is nearby, my move speed increases, and then the next line is very specific to an ally. Our moves here, we start with Confusion and Swift. Confusion, I release a weak telekinetic force in the designated direction, dealing damage and applying a slowing effect. And then our second starter move, Swift, I shoot star-shaped rays across a large area in the designated direction, dealing damage to opposing Pokemon they hit. My first move is at 7. No, sorry, my first move is at 5 here. It is either Dragon Pulse or Draco Meteor. Dragon Pulse is a dash. After we learn this move, it gains Eon Power. Whenever this defeats a wild Pokemon, this move has the user dash in a designated direction and makes its next basic attack boosted. If the user hits an opposing Pokemon with a boosted basic, I gain more Aeon Power. This boosted attack also releases telekinetic projectiles, which deal damage. The more Aeon Power I have accumulated, the more projectiles are released and the more damage they deal. Telekinetic projectiles, when they're upgraded, deal additional damage equal to a set percentage of max HP, so it can rip through some tankier Pokemon. Dragon Pulse sounds pretty good. Draco Meteor, after we learn this move, we gain Aeon Power. Whenever this Pokemon defeats wild Pokemon, this move has the user summon down comets onto the designated area, dealing damage. If this move hits Pokemon on the opposing team, the user gains Aeon Power. The more Aeon Power the user has accumulated, the more comets are summoned. Comets deal additional damage to opposing Pokemon equal to a set of max HP. So they both the plus moves for Draco Meteor and Dragon Pulse, both of them do max HP damage, which is interesting. Then our next two moves at 7 is either Luster Purge or Telekinesis. Has the user let loose a ball of light. After a set amount of time passes, or if the move is used again, it releases all at once, dealing damage to opposing Pokemon it hits and marking them. The user and any Latios on the user's team deal increased damage. Okay. The upgrade increases the duration that they're marked. A move like that is always possibly very powerful, right? Just depending on how much extra damage it unlocks. Telekinesis is a sure hit. Has the user unleash psychic power in the designated direction, dealing damage and applying a slowing effect. If the user hits an opposing Pokemon with this move, the move can be used again to unleash psychic power at a designated opposing Pokemon, dealing damage. If the second Pokemon hit by this move is different from the first, the two Pokemon are pulled toward each other and are left unable to act if they collide. If the second Pokemon is hit by this move is the same as the first, it is left unable to act. Wow. So you can kind of guarantee a stun, or you could get a stun with two Pokemon being pulled together, kind of like using Grass Knot. But it says they actually have to collide, so I'm guessing it's pretty short range, but if you can pull it off, it would be good. The upgrade strengthens the slowing effect applied, and then we have our Unite move, Aeon Blast. Has the user aim at the designated opposing Pokemon and charge power before releasing a pulse, dealing damage. The user's move cooldowns immediately reset and are reduced for a short time. If Latios is also aiming its Unite move in the at the designated opposing Pokemon, the pulses stack and explode, dealing damage. Wow. I mean, this is going to just be duo Q insanity, right? Well, let's take it into our practice area and kind of see how it feels. I hope they release at the same time. If they interact with each other, it feels like they should be releasing at the same time so people could try to make this interaction happen. Confusion. Pretty decent damage. Kind of a wide area of effect, it seems like, for this move, so not too bad, right? And it obviously travels through targets, so you can get some good secures with it, and you know, you could fight through enemies and allies and stuff like that. Swift just cast right through. It looks like they both are kind of similar when it comes to how they cast, right? This also goes through. Oh, no, it looks like it did stall out a bit, didn't it? Hold on. It looked like it didn't go through the exact same way. Let me bring you over here. Maybe it is. Maybe they both are kind of the same. It looked like some of the Swift was like not moving through, but I think maybe the animation was not moving through, yet it still did. Let me take a look at the scoring animation really quick. Ooh. Quite good. All right. We'll be able to tell what's happening with Swift over here. Let me see. Yeah, it looks like it hits everything. Even though it looks like the Swift stops, they still kind of hit in the area, don't they? Yeah, everything's getting hit the same amount. Okay, so 2 moves, very similar in function, right? You're just able to spam it and try to get something. Let's start off with Dragon Pulse right here. There's our dash into our boosted. My Aeon is now at 5 after hitting with that boosted. Aeon's at 8. I mean, having a dash like this is very nice, and that boosted is strong. So you charge it up pretty simply. You're going to be auto-attacking a lot. I wonder if it's going to come into play having something like a muscle band on this, having something like a rapid-fire scarf. I kind of doubt it, but maybe for this build. We do Luster Purge. That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. Alright, how am I not releasing the energy? It's not in my Unite move, right? The more Aeon power, the more projectiles are released, the more damage they deal. That is not what I thought this Pokemon was doing when I read it, I'm realizing. I thought it would, like, release it in kind of a burst, but I guess it's just... you get stronger and stronger and stronger all match. I wonder if you lose some of it when you get KO'd, or maybe all of it when you get KO'd. That might be too punishing, but... It's just going to be stronger and stronger and stronger all game is what I'm reading. All game, this just gets bigger and bigger. Are we serious? Does it have a cap? Brother, what? Obviously, we are like, we're using the PTS. We're just kind of cheesing these stacks, but what on earth? It looks like it's so strong. I gotta see what happens if I get KO'd. I'm guessing you just keep your stacks, but maybe they cut like a percentage of them off. I don't know. Nope, you keep them. Oh boy. I mean, depending on how they balance this move feels like just this concept of powering up your Aeon power feels incredibly busted, right? And all you have to do is hit with a boosted. That's it. You even get to walk away and it just follows. Wow. You just have to be in range for one of them, too. It's kind of like an Icicle Spear in that respect, right? And you just charge it up using autos and moves throughout the game. Wow. I mean, gosh, that feels so strong. It feels so strong. Obviously, we have our move cooldowns off, but wow. Okay, I want to hop back in here. Our next 2 moves, Draco Meteor and Telekinesis. Telekinesis. The first one hits and then the second one's a sure hit. Wow, that has a long range to it though, doesn't it? I thought that range might be short, but that felt pretty dang long. It can't be this long, right? This feels like way too long. Okay, yeah, way too long. But it's pretty good, like a good pull on it. So you'd be able to get a... Like, you have to hit the first one, but you can hit the first one on a wild Pokemon and the next one on a player, right? If you wanted to. And there's that little stun right there. It's a pretty cool move. Alright, let's see what Draco Meteor does. I throw down 2 meteors. So, the advantage here is it hits opposing Pokemon gaining Eos power and more comets are summoned. 1, 2... Alright, when do we get 3 comets? Do we get it once we hit 10? I'm at 30. 3, okay. Now 4 at 50. Staying 4 at 60. I wonder if it's 70 it changes. 5. Yeah, over 100. Jeez, dude. What is happening with this thing? I mean, obviously, we're just spamming on a move off cooldown here, but this is kind of crazy, man. I mean, it's a powerful move to just set and forget, right? But it feels like the dash might be a lot better for this Pokemon. I can't tell. Like, even at 200 stacks right here, it's not absolutely leveling this Slowbro. It is quite strong, but it's not like... I'm not, like, one-shotting it in some, like, ludicrous way, right? And every, you know, Draco Meteor after the initial one does less damage, right? It starts out at 1100 right now or something, and I go down to 347 for each subsequent hit. Although the upgraded version of this would give me the max HP shred on it, which actually could be pretty brutal. We get that at what, 11? Yeah. Might be a little tricky to hit and get enough value out of this. Maybe not. That actually did a lot of damage. It actually did a lot now that I think about it. Can I, like, use my Unite and then still use another move? Cast it. No. $2,300. We charge up. It resets my cooldowns. You can't use anything while you're charging it, but you can cast right after it. And you power this up with Latios to do extra damage. Or Latios and Latios together. Okay. Wow. So, initial thoughts right away with this, right? It feels like this move is going to be kind of dummy good. They might, if they don't keep Dragon Pulse at a reasonable spot, I feel like this move could be unbelievably broken, right? Just because you're gonna just dash around and charge this up as many times as you can in a game, and as you're doing it, when does it first kick in? 10? Or is it all at 20 when it first kicks in? They go in factors of 20 is what it looks like, something like that, right? Or is it 25 or something? So yeah, it feels like this move is going to be insanely good. This just feels extremely strong. And if you're on a team or the enemy team is like weak or your team is helping you, if you just get to stack this up consistently, you're going to be walking around autoing things for ludicrous damage, right? Like, look at that. I didn't get to stack that one up a lot. I only have 50, just stacking it up against the substitute doll right there. But look at the damage it's just outputting onto the Slowbro here. Like, really solid damage. So, yeah. Initial thoughts are, looks quite powerful. I'd like to try to get it into some matches, but the test server is a bit of a nightmare for me sometimes. So I will give that a try with its moves. And of course, I'll try the support too in another video. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for listening. I love you. This should be coming out anniversary. I don't know which is first. I think they could both be at the same time, which would be a really interesting event. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. Love you. We did it.